Hi, I'm Dr. D. Today, we're tackling a topic that doesn't get enough attention: the stigma of leadership. In today's culture, leadership is glorified as the ultimate career goal, and we equate leadership with power, with influence, with worth. And we've created a $50 billion industry around it. But our drive to emphasize leadership has created a bias that subtly sidelines those who choose a different path. So I want to challenge this bias. What if this focus on leadership brings a stigma that pressures employees to pursue roles that they're not interested in, that make them uncomfortable, and they're worried that any other choice they make is somehow less than? What if it's easier to overlook valuable contribution from team members simply because they're not pushing themselves with the drive for a management or leadership role? But many people don't want or aren't interested in leadership, specifically not management. And people who choose this other path, they need support for their decision. They bring depth, dedication, crucial expertise to their roles, and very often companies risk losing them if they push these people into leadership positions that they don't want, that they won't be good at, or that they don't need. So today, I'm going to discuss how to counteract the stigma of leadership by focusing on creating a followership-friendly workplace where we value the contributions of all the team members. And we're going to be exploring 3 areas where we can transform leadership, or a leadership-centric culture, to a followership-friendly one: productivity, trust, and impact. So let's start with the metric of metrics: productivity. In many organizations, being productive is seen as the stepping stone to leadership, as if the effectiveness someone brings to their role automatically qualifies them to manage other people. But some of the most productive team members excel because they're focused on their specialized skills. Moving them into leadership can mean losing their contributions where they are most valuable. Strategic followers are often the ones that are implementing processes, suggesting improvements, and driving the work that the leaders have envisioned. And a followership-friendly culture recognizes and rewards these contributions without requiring someone to climb the ladder in order to get validation. And what about trust? Well, there's an unspoken assumption that leadership ambition equals trustworthiness. And that's really harmful. People who don't want leadership roles are often viewed as less reliable, less invested. But choosing followership doesn't mean a lack of commitment. In fact, many people are deeply committed, deeply dedicated to their team's success, but they don't want the title of manager or leader. And when we allow leadership bias to influence trust, we are discouraging those who prefer to contribute in other ways. We're sidelining really valuable perspectives, and we are actually negatively impacting team cohesion. In a workplace that values followership, trust is based on contribution and collaboration. It creates an inclusive environment where all the team members feel their worth isn't tied to their ambition, but to the strength of their role on the team and how they interact with each other. And lastly, what about the metric most of us don't track? Impact. We often think of impact in terms of leadership. Now, leaders shape outcomes for organizations, but followers, especially those who engage strategically, can have just as much, if not more, influence and impact on the outcome of strategic processes. They're on the front lines, executing plans and working through details, and interacting directly with major technical issues, or they're engaged with clients and customers, or with service providers. These followers support and even challenge leadership decisions, and their impact can elevate the entire team's performance. In a followership-friendly culture, impact is recognized as the result of meaningful work, not formal roles. And so followers who bring expertise and precision to their jobs can have an impact as great as any leader, and are often contributing to the long-term success in ways that might be a little bit less visible, but are equally, if not more, crucial. So here are a couple of practical tips to transition and move away from the stigma of leadership and create a followership-friendly culture. 1, let's recognize and reward skill. Value productivity for what it is and reward those who excel in their jobs without requiring them to move into leadership roles, without that necessary push. 2, let's build trust without the requirement of ambition. When trust is based on reliability, capability, intimacy, and group thinking, team thinking, not ambition, that supports the path for skilled team members, even if they prefer not to take on a leadership role. And lastly, let's acknowledge impact beyond titles. Create a culture where impact is measured and celebrated as the metric for success at every level, and where people understand that their contributions are meaningful regardless of their position. Now, I need to take a time out here to recognize something really, really important. There are people who are primed for leadership, but are super unsure of themselves. They may not see their own potential, so it's up to managers, HR, L&D, to offer the right support to each of these groups. Now, often that means giving them the opportunity to practice leadership for people who are interested and engaged and looking for that move. Where managers or position leaders actually engage strategic followership with those emerging leaders, demonstrating the worth of followership to other people who may not want to move into leadership. If we do that, we can encourage those ready for leadership while creating a culture where strategic followership is equally valued. By choosing leaders who want to lead and empowering skilled followers, we're respecting everybody's strengths. The stigma of leadership, the notion that it's the path to success, it needs to be challenged. I encourage you to change how we use productivity, trust, and impact as the measures of value in our teams, so that both our leaders and our followers can thrive. And I'd like you to riddle me this. How are you supporting people who don't want to take on leadership positions in your organization? Thanks for watching. I'm challenging you to start changing the conversation around leadership and followership in your organization and in your life. I have uploaded a blog under the My Thoughts section of my website. There I take a deeper dive into how productivity, trust, and impact can be used to transform a leadership-centric culture into a followership-friendly one. So you can head on over to my website, www.drdleitner.com, to check that out. I'll put a link in the description or the comments after all of this is done. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hope to see you next time.